So lastly, I will start a rapid fire round, which is quite famous in our series. In this particular round, you don't have to think a lot. You need to immediately give.
Coffee with Karan?
It is more, I would say, advanced and more
Sure.
gonna give a personal touch in terms of people who are there in industry or even who are looking up when it comes to proptech to know more about you.
Sure. Sure.
So are we ready?
Sure.
So if you have to describe Jadecap in one word, what that would be?
We say crafting memories, curating experiences.
Okay. So what's one skill every founder should have? One skill.
There's no fixed answer to it. You need to have multiple skills to be a founder. Let's just leave it at that. But connecting with people is the most important skill.
So when you started upon your entrepreneur journey, I'm sure you must have received lots of advices.
Yes.
So what has been the best advice and the worst advice which you didn't follow, but when you still look back, it gives you chuckle?
See, in a country like India, when you start entrepreneurship, you get advices from everyone. That's a given fact. It is just that if you are here in the industry for long, you can withstand multiple cycles, then you have the courage to stay afloat. Otherwise, you will have a lot of naysayers, which you need to sort of, it all comes from within. I mean, if you are building a business based on somebody else's advice, then it's not going to happen probably.
So what's the best advice which you have got?
See, I've got a lot of advices. The best one is start small, see whether you're liking the industry, whether you're enjoying it, and then build it up. So I knew there was an opportunity. I can launch the business with 200, 300 properties and raise capital, or I can first find my feet in the industry and then see whether I like to do more of it and then build. So I have passed that stage. Now I know that I want to scale it up really big. Every industry will have its challenges. Every business will have its problems, but as long as you're enjoying the process, just go for it.
And the worst advice you have received?
Worst advice is ये तो नहीं चलेगा India.
Okay.
Everything works in India. You need to be resilient and you need to find value for the consumer. Everything works in the country.
True. So what's a book that recently you read and that inspired you a lot?
I always sort of draw up a list of books that I want to read, but last I read was about health, and it's about longevity, about how you prepare yourself for a longer journey of life. We all are having a longer lifespans, so it's not just about lifespan. It's a book called Longevity. So it's not just about lifespan, it's about active lifespan. So how you keep yourself fit, how you keep yourself healthy. And it's very important in current times to stay healthy because it's a tough journey. Entrepreneurship is a tough journey.
True.
So you need to be focused on your health, your mental health, physical health, so that you're able to deliver the return to the community, to the investor, to the guest experience, customer experience, all of that.
And the biggest challenge in proptech industry in India right now is, if you have to say in 2 words?
Connectivity, which I think you're solving for.
Okay.
We need to be connected as an industry and ecosystem player.
So if you weren't in banking in your earlier career journey and not even in proptech, what industry would you have chosen for yourself?
See, it's a question of what influences you. So if you are not seeing the external world, you typically tend to be influenced by what your upbringing was. So probably, I would have done what my father would have done, or my uncles were doing. So, but when you step out of the family setup and you sort of see the external world, and then you see, okay, you can do business in any space. It's just a matter of resilience and perseverance.
So which industry?
I don't know. I really don't know because...
So if you had to follow your father's footsteps?
Maybe manufacturing, maybe trading, all of that traditional sort of industry. And was that right, wrong? I really don't know. For me, what is important is what I'm doing, I'm enjoying, and is it really worth my time?
True. One thing that keeps you motivated. I'm sure as an entrepreneur, you would agree there are major downtime rather than uptime. So during those times, what keeps you motivated?
Yeah, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur because of the influence that I had from the society while I was growing up. I come from a family which is into business. So the fact that I transitioned myself after 15 years of banking into entrepreneurship and I'm doing it successfully, it's a huge motivator for me. So as an entrepreneur, you need to have your own internal motivation system, because if you rely on the external world, when you're doing good, they will pat your back, and when you're not doing good, they'll bring you down.
True.
And that's the time when you need your self-motivation to stand up and say, okay, it's a normal thing to have a bad day in business, and tomorrow is another day. That's how I look at life.
And what's your go-to mantra? Is there any mantra which you follow every day?
I think if I keep working, I'm happy.
Okay.
If I just focus on the work and focus on the problem and I solve it, that just gives me a sense of achievement and gratification. Nothing beyond that.
And what are the 4 important skills that you look when you're hiring for your team?
Hiring is one of the key aspects of building an organization. Now, it depends on what role you're hiring someone. If I hire directly to work with me in my founder's office or somebody who's going to report to me directly, I look at integrity of the person. That is most important to me. Secondly, his ability to handle stress, whether the person can work under stressful situation. Thirdly is whether that person can acquire new skills, whether he can learn a new job and quickly do it for me or for the organization. And fourthly is just mental stability and what drives that person. Is he here for longer term ESOP? Is he here for quick money? You need to know that, and you need to fit the role according to that person.
True.
Otherwise, you're not serving the interest of that person. So anybody who works with me directly, I look at that. But if I'm hiring for my team, my leadership team also needs to have people, then of course the parameters are very different, because that is related to what job that person is going to do. So it depends on whom you're hiring for.
And in 3 words, how would you describe your leadership style?
I would say I let the person do the job on his own, and I want to only involve myself when there is a need to involve. Otherwise, I want the job to be done in the way the person wants to do it. So it's certainly not micromanaging.
Yeah.
But motivating the person is what I believe in a lot, because if the person is motivated, he'll certainly find a solution to the problem.
True. So if you could have dinner with a historical figure or a very important famous business person, who would it be and why?
I was traveling today, I would think Ratan Tata, but he's no longer there.
Yeah.
But a lot of people inspire me who build businesses from ground up. Some real estate developers, I really look up to them, how they built business, the kind of conviction they had in the country 20 years back. They borrowed money and somebody like Irfan Razak, I really look up to him. He had the conviction to go out, borrow money, build something when, we thought there is no demand, but he could see it. So, those are visionary leaders who've transformed the country. And having a dinner time with them is of course, hugely valuable in my view.
True. And if you could switch lives with any entrepreneur for a day, who would it be and why?
Why not Kritika?
Oh.
It would be because I get to see all the proptechs, amazing proptechs that you're working with, and I get more exposure on the proptech industry.
Great. But thank you so much, Ankit, for coming into Let's Talk Business series. And I'm sure our viewers would have learned a lot about Jadecaps today. And I wish you a good luck, and a lot of more, I'm sure, inventories by 2025 will open up. And looking forward to have you again in this particular series to talk about more verticals that you have opened.
Thank you.